Adult learners in Spain, like adult learners everywhere, have similar needs really, which is that they need English that is very practically applicable in their working lives, in their academic lives, and in their wider social lives. And this was really at the heart of Open Mind when we first put it together and we introduced this strand of life skills. So the idea behind that is that Open Mind is a course that develops students' interpersonal skills, their critical thinking skills, their organisational skills, their presentational skills, etc. Because increasingly what we're finding is that adult learners need sets of skills that make them more employable, that are transferable, their employability skills, their soft skills. And so what Open Mind does is it takes the language that students are learning, and then through the life skills sessions, it activates that language and shows students how to use the language in a life skills setting. So I think it's the perfect course for adult learners in Spain because it develops so much more than language. It's about language, but it's also about developing as people, as workers, as learners, and as members of society. When we put together Open Mind, we had one of our key concepts was ease of use for teachers. There's a very clear path through the materials as you're working with the student's book on the page. But in addition, there's lots of other auxiliary components that support the teacher. For example, the students have a workbook, but we've also created an online workbook. And the way that works is students can access it in their own time. They can do the workbook tasks. As a teacher, the software marks the exercises for you. It tracks the student's performance. You can see how many times they've attempted the task, what percentage they've got right. So we're very much moving into an era where teachers and the data that teachers can track of their students' performance enhances the job that the teachers are doing. And so Open Mind is very much at the core of that kind of development. In addition, we've got these fantastic resource centres, one for teachers and one for students, and of course teachers have access to the whole thing. So that makes your job that much easier as teachers because you can ask your students to, for example, go online and listen to the listenings again, or go online and watch the videos and do tasks connected to that. From the Teachers Resource Centre, there's lots of extra stuff. You know, of course, there's as many tests as you would want, or the assessment side of it. But at the same time, there's additional teaching resources as well. For example, with the life skills sessions, we talk about domains. That essentially students need to develop their skills in the work domain, the academic domain, and the social domain. Now, on the page in the student's book, we have a life skills session set in one of these domains. But of course, with the needs of your students, you might want to, rather than exploring that skill in a work setting, you might want to do it in a social setting or in an academic setting. Extra lesson plans and PDF resources are available for each life skill, so that you don't have to then put it together yourself as a teacher. It's all available and given to you. So I would say that those are the course itself is very clear for teachers, but also there's so much else that makes teachers' jobs that much easier.